Welcome to part 3 of my testimony on Peyronie's disease and penile prosthesis surgery. In this video, I'll be talking about the selling of surgery. When I saw my urologist, he diagnosed the condition and said there was no cure. He said maybe vitamin E would help, even though there is no case of Peyronie's disease ever cured by vitamin E. I see now that this was a smokescreen designed to get me to try and fail at my own cure, which I did. When it didn't work, which the specialist knew would happen, I came back for consultation. Next, he gave me some Cialis samples. They helped to an extent, but the scarring of the Peyronie's produced only a partial erection, which I was not satisfied with. Having experienced these failures, I was in the process of making several bad decisions. See, I was looking for an ally to be with me in this strange disease. I thought I'd found one in my urologist, failing to realize that he is only a source of information for Peyronie's disease and not the final word. Taking the free Cialis put me in debt to him and is one of the oldest methods of salesmanship, getting the potential customer obligated to him. I was also very naive to have taken the vitamin E, and that told him how far in denial I was. I mean, really, taking over-the-counter vitamin E to cure Peyronie's disease. It was all designed to bring me closer to the nuclear option of surgery. The doctor's next move was that we should wait on it. After all, there are cases of spontaneous cure. It didn't happen. I now had 3 failures pushing me towards surgery. In the meantime, I tried a vitamin regimen and explored the internet. I zeroed in on the Peyronie's Society chat room. There I read several posts, most whining and testifying about the failures of various alternatives. I also saw that there were many cheerleaders for prosthesis surgery. People who had had the operation and claimed to screw like a 19-year-old again. People who bragged about their Don Juan capacity, on and on. Hear this because it is important. When comparing your failures with the increased capacity to copulate, the average Peyronie's victim makes the obvious conclusion. Today, I wish I'd never logged into that site. It's so pro-surgery, it's not funny. It's tragic. So after a year of waiting it out and tuning into the chat rooms and being in denial about my wilting manhood, I was back in the urologist's office. Now, surgery sounded more feasible, what the doctor had been counting on. I wasn't sold yet, however, and the doctor knew it. He gave me literature on the prosthesis, the newest model. I took it home to study it. As I read the literature, I made more mistakes. Looking for anything to restore me, I failed to read the literature on the prosthesis with a critical eye. Looking back, it was full of salesman's talk. Full of it. Phrases like the, quote, gold standard and, quote, the Cadillac of prosthesis. And cheap sales language like, quote, the greatest prosthesis just got better, exclamation point, and such other obvious salesman's talk. Most of us would run from such language in a department store, but when it comes to your penis, you listen. Imagine something as sophisticated as a penile prosthesis being advertised as a gold standard or the greatest prosthesis just got better, exclamation point. But that's just my point. I now have a prosthesis. It's not a sophisticated device, it's a lie. Never forget, the gold standard is the natural and normal functioning of your own penis when it was in working order and nothing else. Everything else is substandard, unless you want to call a shorter, less sensitive penis needing a lot of maintenance the gold standard. To say a prosthesis approaches gold standard is very misleading and a crime to people vulnerable with Peyronie's. Let's wrap this up by how a Peyronie's disease victim begins falling into the trap of surgery. He's led with several psychological ploys into an adverse situation, surgery, via slow, almost undetectable steps. These are common steps used in selling any product, and many are built into the medical procedure. Briefly, these steps are: 1. Creating a sense of hopelessness that Peyronie's disease is incurable. This is a lie. Then a sense of urgency. If it isn't done soon, the Peyronie's disease will grow. Of course, this will happen whether you get surgery or not. The second step in selling the product is 2, reciprocity. Reciprocity works something like this. The victim is given something of value for free. Remember the free Viagra and Cialis? The receiver feels an obligation to return the favor. Reciprocity is a powerful psychological principle. It makes you bond with the salesman and saddles you with an indebtedness to him. He becomes your pal. Sales step number 3, commitment. Commitment involves getting a prospective customer to take tiny steps toward the goal, like repeated appointments. Remember the vitamin E and the Cialis? Whoever takes that step makes a commitment, however tentative, toward the goal that has been set for him. Number 4, consensus. Everybody is doing it. If you ask how rare is prosthesis surgery, you'll be given the answer that it's done all the time. Websites are full of it. If everybody's doing it, it must be okay. Number 5, validation authority. The medical community approves of it, for gosh sakes. Number 6, greed. You're led to believe that there is a shortcut to health via surgery. This is a big, big lie. Investment. Each expenditure of time and money, as in repeated appointments, you build an investment in the process. What sense does it make to overrule your specialist after investing time, money, and hope? Number 8, shadowing. Changing a condition you are opposed to in small increments. Just saying the word surgery and prosthesis X number of times takes the sting out of it. Where before this was out of the question, now it doesn't look so bad. And number 9, association. The longer you spend in the specialist facility, a grand and efficient place, among all the sick and downhearted, you will associate yourself with them. Don't be a fool. Don't fall for this. There are natural ways to cure this disease without invasive surgery. I hope you'll see the 20 questions and answers you need to know before going under the knife. The website that has these questions and answers is www.pdselfcure.com.